come here, still hunting a Grand Slam. What in your view is at stake for Scotland this weekend?
Well, it's a game in the Championship that we'll do all we can to win. We are obviously out the running of the Championship, but we still want to play to our potential, show our true picture of what we're capable of, and finish as high up the Championship as possible. Playing at home requires even more determination because you play in front of your supporters and it's a last home game of the season, so it's time we delivered an 80-minute performance.
You've made the decision to leave your captain on the bench. Can you talk us through your thinking there?
Yeah, well, we obviously had 2 weeks to reflect on why things didn't work over in France. Part of that is how we coached and what we did in training. Tactically, how we played the game, but also selection. And we looked at every position. We also reflected on the fact that we're out of the Championship now, so if there's someone out there who's really earned his opportunity, for example Ali Price, and this is a good time to see if it helps the team win at the weekend. Greg is, I think, the only player who's played our last 6 tests or started our last 6 tests, so he's a key part of our squad. He's obviously going to play a different role this week from the bench, but we see him playing an important part of the game on Saturday.
How did they react?
Yeah, as you'd expect from someone that really wants to play for Scotland, disappointed and determined to show that he should be starting. And he's been very professional in the build-up to the game. He's still one of our key leaders, and it gives us this weekend leadership on the bench that we believe will have a big role to play in the game.
That Ali can play a quicker tempo than Greg. Is it as simple as that? Do you agree with that?
Well, every player's got different strengths. Ali is one of the best in the game at moving the ball away quickly through his own speed, but also through his accuracy of pass. But he's got other parts to his game too. I think his kicking has been very good this season. He's on form. That's a big thing. And Greg has got the ability to play fast too. A lot of our better moments in the Six Nations have been when Greg's been at 9. So it isn't a reflection on how Greg's playing. It's a reflection on the fact that Ali's playing really well, deserves this opportunity to start at some stage. And now, this weekend, we believe it's the right time to do that.
Ali fell out the picture for club as well as country after the game in Cardiff last year. Is he more resilient now?
I believe so. I think most players go through a period where things don't go as well for them. He'd been outstanding for Glasgow and for Scotland up until that point. Started in this fixture 2 years ago against Wales. Started in our wins at home and away against Australia. But you're right, he didn't play as well for club and country during this period last year. But came back strongly for us. I remember his game against France off the bench and also Italy off the bench. He really helped us win those games. And he started this season in really good form. Physically, he's been in good shape. And since around November, I've seen a real step up in his form for Glasgow. I remember the game against Saracens down there in January, and also his last game during the first fallow week playing against Cardiff. He was very good.
With Greg's age, people might start speculating, well, this is the sort of beginning and end for his sort of Scotland career, but do you still imagine that he's got a sort of big part to play for the national team in the next couple of years?
Absolutely, and we know that there's a big tournament on the horizon, and we'll see what happens after the World Cup. That tends to be a time where players reassess where they are, where coaches reassess what's the next challenge after that. But we know Greg is determined to play his best, play well for Scotland and win for Scotland. And he, as I said before, he's the only player that started the last 6 games, so it shows you what a key member of our squad he is.
In terms of Finn coming back in, how does he sort of fitness-wise, and how much of a boost does it happen back for us?
Well, he should be fine fitness-wise. He only missed a week of rugby. He played at the weekend for Racing. He didn't do much on Monday, but trained fully Tuesday, Wednesday, so we see him back as normal Finn, leading the attack. He's vice-captain this week. He was down to be vice-captain last week before he picked up his injury, against France. And we know he's been in great form for us and Racing over the last few weeks.
Gregor, after France, the disappointment in France, how brutal was the post-mortem?
More prolonged because we had 2 weeks, so whether that's tougher having to watch it a few more times and go through the reasons we believe we didn't get the performance we strived for. But it does give us good time to reflect, change things around training-wise, look at each position in the team to see whether a change will help us win. But it's also a good process to go through as a team. Like, we're not going to win every game. It's disappointing and it hurts a lot when you lose playing for your country. But these learning opportunities will make us stronger as long as we put what we've learned into performance at the weekend.
Is there any excuse? I mean, you seem personally kind of hurt almost with the way Scotland started the first half and the second half. Is there any excuse for a team to start the way we started in both halves and parts?
It's sport. You're playing against an international team that had their backs to the wall, that brought a lot of emotion and energy. We allowed them to do that on a couple of occasions, right at the start of the second half, when we had them under pressure from a long kick by Blair in their 22 and they end up scoring a try from it. 10 minutes into the game, we put a really good kick in behind their defence, and Ramos had 3 Scotland players on top of him, which really should have been an excellent chance for us to get the ball back or get good field position. Because we didn't get our chase sorted and we missed a couple of tackles, we end up conceding 7 points. So those are moments where they're obviously disappointing. It's not like us. Our kick chase has been very good, or had been very good up until that point. And there were moments in the game that allowed France to get confidence and points on the board. And for us, it made the job much tougher.
Last minute for our broadcast, is anything else?
You got up against a team going for the Grand Slam. You're a team that's coming off a disappointing performance, 2 disappointing results. Most people are going to expect Wales to come here and stay on course. Why would those people, in your view, why are they going to be wrong on Saturday?
Well, I'd imagine that the Welsh players, the Welsh supporters and a lot of neutrals will believe that Wales are the better team and that they're going to win. We'll just have to wait and see on Saturday afternoon. We know we've not showed our true picture of what we're capable of. We've came up against some excellent teams in the past, teams that have been on really good winning records, and we've risen to the occasion and played at our best. And we know that's what we'll have to do this week to win.